What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, today we had a new hotfix in Warframe, update 33.6.9. And in this update, they made it where the double tap Latron augment mod will work on the Incarnon mode. This may sound like a familiar patch note, as I feel like this is like the third time they've claimed to have fixed the double tap Latron mod working on the explosion shot of the Latron Incarnon. So we'll be going over that today. Basically talking about, after all of these changes, was it even worth it? Like, is this mod even something that you should be using? Showing some gameplay of it, showing some synergies, and things of that nature. If you enjoy these types of videos, make sure you're subbed to the channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. Also check out the live stream channel as well. I stream lots and lots of Warframe, lots of Steel Path Endurance runs, lots of Relic opening, and weekly reset stuff too. So come stop by if you have not already. All right, let's hop right in here. So the way that the augment works we're talking about today is called double tap. And this can come from the Nightwave for like Nightwave crits. So what it does is on hit, 20% increased bonus damage for the next shot for 2 seconds. Stacks up to 20 times outside of Conclave. This used to be a PvP mod, and DE repurposed it for the actual game because nobody plays PvP. What this can do is you can stack this up to like a lot of extra damage. The most I've usually gotten is about 500% damage on the next shot. But reminder, it only lasts for 2 seconds, so unless you're spamming shots like crazy, you're getting basically no benefit out of this. Now, what mod did I have on here in the first place? Because I was not using this mod, and honestly, I might not even use this mod going forward. Well, the mod I had on here instead of double tap before was called Hammer Shot. It's a really rare mod, a pretty expensive mod, and the reason I'm using this one, this thing has so much crit. I've got a crit chance reference for over 100% crit chance. Since we're always getting crits, we want to have our increased crit damage, and also one of the Incarnon options for the Latron Prime Incarnon is on puncture status effect, remove enemies' armor by 20%. That's why status chance can be nice. It gives you more status procs, it can be more puncture procs, and more armor strip. Now, just a reminder, that's what we're sacrificing for putting this mod on. Now, if you don't have a Riven, you can maybe put that in the Riven slot, but yeah. So let's go ahead and see. So let's take a quick look at this in the Simulacrum. I've already done some Steel Path gameplay testing that I'll show it later in the video. But let's just show how this works right now. And there's a reason I'm playing Zaku as well, once we go over some synergies. So the way it works, you see right there, one trigger pull, 160% damage for 2 seconds. It doesn't last very long at all. So if you're going to keep stacking it up, it will keep going up and up and up. We're at 500%. Doesn't really go above 500%. So as long as you're constantly damaging enemies, you're keeping that buff going. Another problem, though, is if you are to miss, you lose the buff immediately. So let's say the enemy you're shooting at dies, and you keep shooting at where they were. Oh, look, the enemy's dead, but you fired one shot off, the buff is all gone. Now, we'll show what they changed today. We're using the Incarnon mode. Now, as you can see, if you don't hit an enemy directly, it does not give you the bonus. So this is an AoE fireball launcher. Now we have to go for direct hits. I'd say the fact that it needs direct hits is enough to not use this in the first place. Now, it is doing good damage, don't get me wrong, but reminder, I have a multi-shot crit chance ribbon on here too. So, unless you're going for direct hits all the time, this mod is going to be doing next to nothing. I'll show you, now these guys are all paused. I'll show you in a realistic gameplay situation here in a little bit. But let's also show a quick synergy you could do with Zaku. Now, Zata's Whisper, the ability of Zaku that gives you extra void damage, this can synergize with the Incarnon Latron to make it where you get more damage per hit. It's basically going to give us, so we got 200 there, and we were getting 180 before. So it can actually just give you extra hits of this and make it quite easy to blow up enemies as they're in your void bubble and very dead. So yeah, 500 is what you're going to be getting. Now here's the problem. The way that the Latron Prime Incarnon is usually used, at least by me, is I actually am trying to get as much armor strip as possible when I use this. So I usually do a special little trick. I'll fire at the legs of the enemy, so I'll get the explosion damage, and I'll get the direct hit. So it's a full armor strip in one hit. Now, the double tap mod is completely opposed to that gameplay playstyle, as it is not doing a direct hit. You will not get your extra buff. That mod slot is wasted. So right there, we got 200% bonus, it looked like, for like, it's also 2 seconds too, which is hardly anything at all. So, as you see right there, it seemed to have hit another enemy with that. But yeah, as far as like getting like big stacks, you might not want to shoot at their feet anymore, as it would also technically count as a miss. So right there we got a direct hit. So as you can see, you can get some pretty decent damage out of it. But the thing is here, I'm going to show the exact, let's do the exact same setup. But instead of double tap, we're going to put on Amalgam Serration. So it's only 155% damage, but it's always active. And it does not like randomly, we don't lose it if we just miss a shot or something. So let's see how different this looks with all these things stacked up together. So Amalgam Serration instead. Reminder, you could put just Hammer Shot on there like I showed, but they're two mods that both do plus damage, that's why it's a good comparison. So we're not going to proc Zata's Whisper. Okay, got our Incarnon. So yeah, no double tap now. Okay, we don't have any Merciless stacks right now either. But as you can see, it's pretty much exactly the same. Once you get stacked up, they're just going to get blown up in one hit. That guy... I have a pretty bad Ribbon, like, negative stash duration-wise, but, dude, it's virtually, like, the same thing. They're still dying in one hit, right? Like, what is the difference here? So, it's really going to come down to, like, do you just think this is fun? Maybe this could be okay on, like, a Demolist or something. But, yeah, it's too much of a headache for me. We can show the same thing with Hammer Shot, too, just to show the build I had in there before. Then we can hop onto the Steel Path and just show how it works in an actual mission, because these guys are all paused next to each other. So yeah, they fixed this mod not working like 3 times, and at this point I'm just like, why did you even bother? It doesn't seem worth it in the first place. But hey, at least it did get fixed. So here it is with Hammer Shot. Now, of course, with this one we have no base damage. We need to get our Merciless stacks to see any benefit here. So, yep, once you're fully stacked up, it's virtually the exact same thing. Just a little bit more status chance for getting more puncture procs. Like I had 3 puncture procs with them already. See, it's still a really, really good weapon. Like, still one of the best Incarnons in the game. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'll be doing my updated Incarnon tier list soon. Now that we got the new Incarnons. And I'm going to have a poll on YouTube about it, too. So, that's going to be basically how it works in the Simulacrum. Let's hop into mission and see how this works. So, the thing is about the Latron Prime Incarnon is that I usually just use it as AoE. I don't really go for direct hits. And as you can see in the gameplay footage, from like a couple clumped up enemies, one Latron Incarnon shot is going to give us like 200% damage. So if this is good enough for you to get a 220% damage bump after hitting like 4 or 5 enemies in a clump, then go for it, I guess. But I really don't think it's worth it over Serration, over Hammer Shot, over a mod that's just always active. This is active for 2 seconds. It requires direct hits with an AoE launcher. I'm just getting vibes of like that one Tonkor augment that seemed like it would be good, but it's like, why am I getting direct hits with a Tonkor? There was a Tonkor augment where basically on direct hit, you'd get increased reload speed. It's kind of like this, like on direct hit, you get increased damage. I don't really think I need more increased damage with this thing. I have lots of damage mod options, and then after all these changes, it just doesn't really seem worth it. So that's basically it. Let me know if you guys like this mod in the comments down below. I know there's probably somebody out there that likes it, but it's just way too situational and conditional for me. Like, yeah, 500% damage is nice, or it can be nice, but you're definitely not going to be having that 500% damage all the time. Zata's Whisper gives you an extra hit of that stack, but yeah, I mean, Zata's Whisper can completely annihilate with pretty much any Incarnon, so one extra stack of 20% damage from Zata's Whisper is not going to make a big deal at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys found this video fun and helpful. That's just my opinion, of course. If you think it's more useful, more power to you. This game's about having fun, so go have some fun if you think this is good. I'm just going to stick to Hammer Shot. I'm going to stick to Amalgam Serration. I'm going to stick to other guns and stick to the things I like to use already. But hey, at least DE tried. They made this technically usable. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Appreciate the support. See you on stream as well. Take it easy. Peace.